I will try. But my name is Pam Blankenship, and my title is It's All in the Fine Print. And when I got the email that I had won and it's all in the fine print, I thought, I didn't write that. And then I searched back through my computer because it was a rainy day. I don't know if any of you all did it. Filled them out in June and turned them in early. That was me. A bunch of men was around the house, working on the house, and I was like just typing up grants. I'd probably turned in 3 or 4. But I thought, oh my, I'm going to have to email Miss Carpenter and tell her, this is not my grant. This was someone else's. I'm so sorry. But no, I finally found it, and it's all in the fine print. And it was one of those that I thought, this is just common sense. And in education, a lot of times, just common sense doesn't win. But this time it did. Now, because I want you to think, when is the last time you got new textbooks from your district? Yeah, most people shaking their head. Now, that is me as well. I have not received new textbooks probably since I came back to Kentucky in 2001. And while I've only worked for the current school district I'm at a few years, it is still the same series that I used in my previous school district. So you can only imagine the quality of the textbooks that we have. Not that they're not perfect and great, and it's not that our administrators don't want to buy them, but in years past, textbooks funds used to be over $100,000 plus, so you would have all those people coming to your district. No one had to worry about buying teacher bags because you would get a new one from every little vendor who you walked beside of. But we had an opportunity to see and buy new print material for our students. Well, it's not happening anymore because the money's going somewhere else, and I'm not really sure. Maybe somebody else in Frankfort knows. But my grant is I got to buy a new color printer to print out textbooks or text for my students. I got to purchase also $500 worth of things off of Teachers Pay Teachers. That was so exciting for me and all of my colleagues. And yeah, you want my password, I know. My husband is an attorney, but I share, just email me. But and I teach kindergarten, so if you're in any interest. But I went through and I found some programs that I thought would address our new standards, because they've spent money to change our standards and research our standards, but they've not given us anything to teach the new standards with. Go figure that one out. Now, so I went through and I picked out some things off Teachers Pay Teachers that I liked. And I like Tara West. She has a whole reading curriculum that follows the standards, and I got to pick out new science materials to meet those new science standards and new social studies standards. So got lots of nice stuff to start printing off and sending home. I can also print off all kinds of decodable readers to go along to teach our phonetics and send home with my students, because you know when you send home those trade books that you've had since 2001, guess how many of those things came back? You can only imagine how many times you're missing things. So my grant, I think, is just common sense. Wasn't a genius, and I don't claim to be. And that's why I thought, I will never win that one, and was shocked when I did and had to Google and make sure that it was actually mine. But it is probably going to be the best one that I've ever won, because it's just common sense things that I can use in my classroom. New printer. I could print out stuff at school instead of at home. My husband informed me last year when we were doing our taxes how much I had spent on ink, and it was over $700 out of our own pockets. And I'm on one of those ink share programs. But now I also got to print ink for this new printer. It's supposed to last for over a year. So that's even better. Everybody's happy. So now I can spend money on my own kids instead of on all my students. And I bought laminating pouches, because I don't know about your school, but the laminator never works. They work on it all the time, but now I can laminate my own things. So we're pretty self-sufficient in kindergarten at Paintsville. And not that everybody doesn't want to help and give us money, because they all would, but you know, in education, common sense doesn't always win, but this time it did. So I've got a new printer, $500 to spend. I will send you my password, but don't tell anybody that. I probably shouldn't say it on something that's being videoed. And lots of good material that is actually something I'm going to use, and not something I wrote a fancy grant for that I don't really understand and I'm going to have to figure out how to use. That's it.